I actually don't know what the topic is. All I know is that no application has been received for the students to use a venue at the Academy. And it's an important part of the process. All applications have to go through the appropriate process. This is an unauthorised use of an Academy venue. This is my issue.
But this is a form, this is not a performance.
It's a use of a public venue at the Academy for which appropriate permission has to be granted. And at this stage we have not received a formal application.
Right, but you've not only done it once, but you've done it twice, that you reject the application.
We have not received an application. We haven't rejected any application. We haven't received an application. There was an appropriate path to follow to put an application in. As yet, I've still to receive that proper application, identifying which venue they want to use, why they want to use it. At the moment, we have no indication of the purpose that they want to use the venue for. Anybody that makes a booking to use an Academy venue has to be very clear to us about what the purpose of the hiring is. Now, the fact they wouldn't tell us is a worry for us. We need to understand why they want to use the venue, and then I can make a decision about whether or not they can use the venue for that purpose, whether it fits in with our policies and our guidelines. At the moment, I'm still waiting for that application, so this is a completely unauthorised, illegal meeting.
So what exactly is the maintenance inside and outside the theatre?
I beg your pardon?
What is exactly the maintenance? Is the seating? Is the lighting? Where is broken?
No, these are details that you shouldn't ask. There is maintenance going on. Okay, these are details. Yeah.
It's nothing to do with me. The issue I'm focusing on is the fact that we have not authorised the use of the Academy venue for this or any other purpose by the student union. I have received no formal application giving me the information I need to be able to make a decision. It's got nothing to do with anything else. This is a major issue for us, that the students or any external body has no right to use an Academy venue without permission.
Why you close the door to the garden? Why you close all the doors to the garden?
All I'm saying to you again is the issue is not where the doors are closed, there's maintenance happening. We need to get a proper application for the use of a venue which I consider appropriate. At the moment I've received no such application.
We will ask the organiser to cancel the event now.
Beg your pardon?
We will ask the organiser to cancel the forum now.
We are actually making an announcement. Ask them to leave now. Actually, if you hear the announcement.
Yes. Well, we're asking everybody to leave because they have no permission to be here and run this event. Therefore, it's within our parameters to ask them to please leave the venue and discontinue with this forum, which is not authorised by the Academy.
Will there be any punishment for the students' union for this forum?
That's jumping ahead a long way. Clearly, it's a discussion we'll need to be having with the student union. There are certain terms and conditions that everybody has to abide by in their use of the Academy, and this obviously is a discussion at the appropriate space. We'll be having a discussion with the student union.
But nevertheless, it always has been the student activity. Was the standard all along the same, that you require an application of such? And also, we have a word of promise that if you go through the application, you will not censor such a subject of the sensitivity of Hong Kong independence.
What I would do, I would receive the application. We have a very clear set of policies and guidelines for the use of Academy venues, which I know the student union has a copy of. I would then review the application in light of those policies and guidelines and make a decision about that. The Academy has no position politically one way or the other. We have to make an assessment of it in relation to the established policies and guidelines, which at the moment I'm unable to do because I haven't received a proper application to be able to make that evaluation.
What do you mean by a proper application? The students already told the students affairs.
No. The student affairs don't manage the venues in the Academy. Our venues, we have a venues department that manages that. There is a very clearly established application process. Anybody else does not have authority to authorise the use of an Academy venue. It must go through those proper channels.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, may I have your name?
Yes, I'll give you my card.
Okay.
I can't, sorry. I haven't got.
Adrian Water, our director. 校長。
Director， 我哋香港演藝學院校長。
Okay.
係啊。
There will be no punishment on the student side.
I'm never looking at one for punishment. What I want to do, I want to explore this with the student union, why they chose to take this action and not go for the proper process. We have a very good relationship with our students. That we have an amazing group of students here at the Academy. I was auditioning for scholarships this morning and was bowled over by the standard and quality of our students. And do you know what that made me think? How important it is for us as an Academy to create a safe, stable environment so these wonderful talented young students can develop themselves to their full ability, and that's part of my job as director of the Academy. So punishment is not a term that I would use. It's clearly a discussion we need to have with the student union to work out why this went ahead, why they didn't go through the proper process.
But the staff told the SU that they cannot get a place because there are maintenance going on. Is this the reason behind?
No, I can't make an evaluation. I haven't seen an application form. Obviously, if they want a venue and something else is scheduled for that venue, of course they can't get it. But if they apply for something that I consider fair and reasonable and within the guidelines of the policy, I will consider that fairly. Of course I will. But at the moment, we have not received that application. I have to keep going back to that point. This is the problem.
Actually, the first time when they asked, okay, we didn't know what it is, and then we said, we already told them actually in the early last week that we have maintenance going on. We didn't even know what is going to happen, right? So we already told them, the maintenance has been scheduled. Yeah.
Can you tell me what exactly the maintenance is?
Sorry?
Can you tell me exactly what the maintenance is going on?
Within the amphitheater is a routine maintenance. Okay.
So
Now, details. You have to details. I don't know the details.
Let's move away from this maintenance issue. This is, making a suggestion that they were denied access because maintenance was going on. Sure, if that happens from time to time, that will be the case for a hirer. But again, this is not going to be a deciding factor about whether they can use a venue now or into the future for this activity. I will need to evaluate and assess an application. And if it fulfills the requirements of our policy, we will try and work with the students to find a venue they can use. If there's one being maintained, we'll find another. But once we've seen the application, we'll be very open and clear about whether we will permit or won't permit that activity to be scheduled at the Academy. And I'll be very clear about that. But to do that, I need to see the application. I need to see what they want to do. I then can make a proper decision. At the moment, I'm called over here because there's an unauthorised use of Academy facilities happening. I actually don't know what the forum's about. All I know is this is not authorised, and for public safety, a whole range of issues, we need to be able to keep control of our venues. And this is an example where we've lost that control because the students have determined to run a forum without permission. So all I'm saying to the students, and we've asked them for this, please put an application in and I will look at it fairly and reasonably and make an assessment in line with our guidelines and our policies.
So there are 0 cases beforehand that there is no such applications. I mean, all the cases are before, all the land use.
In any venue that's used at the Academy, I know because I sign always off on them. Every venue used at the Academy, it goes through quite a rigorous process before it reaches me for a final signature. So I'm fully aware of every use of an Academy venue. This one I've not seen any application at all has reached my desk, and no venue can be used until the director of the Academy finally signs off on it. I'm the final decision maker about whether I will, even if something comes through to me approved, I can still reevaluate it, and that's part of my role and responsibility. And I've received no such application.
Given the fact that the forum is such a low-risk event, is it possible to exercise some sort of leniency?
The policy is there to make sure that we don't create any situations where we're in contravention of ordinance requirements, whether it's registered as a place of public entertainment. There's many factors need to be considered, and it's not a matter of leniency, it's a matter of understanding the facts. If I don't have the fact in front of me, I am not in a position to make an informed decision. And one thing that I will never do is make a knee-jerk, uninformed decision. I need to have the facts in front of me, which I do not have.
How do you define whether it is entertainment or
There is an ordinance that covers that. I'm afraid I'm not an expert on the public entertainment ordinance, but I know that you have to apply to have a venue registered as a place of public entertainment. And for example, the television studio is not registered as a place of public entertainment. The Lyric Theatre is. And that means that you're legally allowed to rent it out for use to the general public. And that is very important. And the ordinance, of course, is a governmental ordinance which we're all bound to abide by. And that's another reason why it needs to go for our venues division. They're the experts on understanding issues to do with ordinance, what is an appropriate use of a venue. In terms of the subject matter and the topic, that is my decision. But as I said, I would be very interested to see the application.
If they refuse to leave, we will ask the police for help.
We've asked them to leave. There's no police here. You can see that. I suppose I would hope for a reasoned, responsible reply. We've told them that they have no permission to have this venue. Clearly, we can't evict them from the premises, but we're asking them to behave rationally and sensibly, accept that decision, and say, "Okay, look, we agree. We haven't got permission. We will leave." Otherwise, at the moment, we're just leaving the situation as it is.